It used to be thought race was a real useful biological distinction among humans. But actually, if scientists were going to come up with a system of categories for capturing the diversity that there is physically and genetically between humans, things like the propensity to diseases, height, or characteristics of the face, they would never arrive at our common race categories. Our category of race does not cut nature at its joints. It does not divide the human species up where there are the significant genetic divisions. And yet, these absurd categories, these categories which make no sense from a scientific point of view, were perhaps the main determining factor of how well your life would go, what opportunities you would have. All these things were determined by categories which are thoroughly artificial.
The reality of race is basically a reality that is socially created. These lines are artificially drawn by human beings, and the argument is they're drawn in response to particular political projects. So the idea is that race then becomes a system, and if you ask a person, what is your race? What we're really asking is, where are you located with respect to the system?
So essentially, race originated as a rationalization of a very useful economic and political system of domination. Racial solidarity becomes a Frankenstein's monster. It takes on a life of its own because not many countries which, after the Second World War, when industrialization is happening, will say, let's actually degrade the quality of education for a vast proportion of the potential workers in the country. But that's exactly what the South African government did with the Bantu Education Acts at that time. The French poet Charles Baudelaire said, "The loveliest trick the devil ever played was to persuade us that he doesn't exist." And in many ways, that's what theorists of race means by de facto white supremacy. Because the formal political system can give people as many rights as you want, and it can say that they're equal, and it can say that they all can vote. But if the legacy of explicit white supremacy, for example, at the time of colonialism, if over history the distribution of financial capital and social capital and cultural capital have become extremely skewed towards one group which sees itself as a race and acts in racial solidarity even today, then those rights and that idea of equality are not going to save us from white supremacy. Something more is needed.